nervous talker. He's insecure as hell. Like I said, it's not that he's a bad guy or anything like that. I
Yep.
don't think anything like
Well,
that.
luckily, if he's a good guy, Santa will come bring him presents.
Yeah, I have been ranting. That's a good point. We should get off of this because every time I keep going, I just keep going like, man, oh man. But yeah, so Santa, Christoph Kringleston.
The man, the myth, the legend comes every year to bring us gifts, and he's definitely real.
Yeah. I saw this TikTok the other day where this guy, like, he's in somebody's living room in a Santa suit, but he looks nothing like Santa. He's got blonde hair and
Yeah.
like blue eyes and like a beard. He's like 20. And the guy's like, "What the hell are you doing in my house?" He's like, "I'm fucking Santa." Like, and the guy's like, "No, you're not." And he's like, "Yeah, yeah, I am." He's like, "Okay, so what did I want when I was 3?" He's like, "You had this really weird obsession with a Tickle Me Elmo doll." Yeah, okay. No, I mean really weird. Like, I know what you wanted to do with it, but and like it was just funny because the idea that somebody can make it all the way around the world and be in everybody's
Yeah,
house, that none of us have ever seen. I mean, we all know Santa's not real at this point, but
you're right. But we do like to say that he's real. I recently watched like a horror comedy movie.
yep,
It's like a horror movie, but like not really a horror movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Silent Night.
Silent Night with the guy from
Violent Night, I believe it's called.
I think it was Violent Night with the guy from Stranger Things. And basically the movie is like, saying that Santa's not real, but like this random drunk guy's in a bar and he's like, I gotta go to work on Christmas Eve, and then it ends up being like Santa, but
Yeah.
he's all pissed off because no one believes him anymore, and everyone's like super jaded against he's just also super jaded because everyone's a piece of shit. And like the story of is basically just like he was this Viking warrior that murdered a ton of people, and then he just somehow became Santa Claus.
Nobody's real clear on the details there, but like,
Yeah.
like just take the leap with us.
Yeah, so basically like he's delivering gifts to like this rich family, and he gets caught in the moment and has to like rescue him because they're also getting uh robbed.
This movie has like so many damn elements to it already.
Yeah,
So
it was an interesting
so let
movie.
me just see if I got the plot right so far. Santa is a Viking warrior who lost all of his Christmas spirit, eventually became Santa Claus, but then lost his Christmas spirit all to go out to some rich person's house, which whatever.
Yeah, because he has to deliver gifts to
And
them.
he's delivering
Yeah.
gifts to them because they made his list and they're being robbed. So now he goes back into his Viking ways and just,
Yeah,
oh,
that's it. You got it, actually. There's some nitty-gritty in the middle, but yeah, that's it.
this sounds like the strangest fucking movie.
Yeah, it was a really good take on Santa. I really like that,
Yeah.
this idea. Also, I just really like the idea of, like, since everyone's a piece of shit now in the world and not a lot of people believe in him, that Santa's just slowly start getting less powerful without that magical cheer to, like, boost him up, basically. So now he's just, like, this big, drunken, jaded dude that
Wait. So something
kinda just hates everyone.
so in other words, Santa might be a god from D&D because in
Yeah.
D&D gods get their power from their worshippers and how much they're worshiping sort of thing.
Mhm.
So whether that's
Yeah, basically.
yeah, whether that's how much good they're putting out or just a mass amount of people, I don't know. But Santa, he's just looking for that Christmas spirit, just
Yeah.
Christmas spirit and
Ooh, yeah.
good-heartedness.
Yep, that's him.
That movie still sounds so
I,
bizarre. I can't get over that. Like, it's
it's a good watch.
it.
I'd give it a solid 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't like any of the cast from excuse me from Stranger Things, anyways. So
Yeah, he was the sheriff,
no.
His
Oh,
name's David Harbour.
David
I don't
Harbour.
know who that is.
Yeah, the sheriff in Stranger Things.
Huh.
There's only one,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it was him. But yeah, Santa.
Yeah.
You tell your kids Santa's real, right?
My kids are too young to understand what the concept of Santa is anyways. My daughter's starting to get it this year. I haven't told her
Yeah.
that he's real. I kind of don't want to. But at the same time,
Right.
like, there is something magical about lying to your kid. So,
I yeah, I hear parents saying like, if you're not good, Santa's not gonna bring you gifts. So like December, you can get really good acting kids, and then 11 months out of the other year, it's just miserable. I guess I don't know. I guess then you say I hear parents will say, if you're not being good, I'm gonna call the cops, which is also a weird thing to tell your kids. But
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that one seems weird to me. Like,
Yeah.
let's take a second to like dig that statement apart. Not the cops one. That one's just a whole new level of like weird, but it's like,
Yeah.
so if you want something good, then you have to be good, is basically
Yeah.
how that goes when you say, if you're not good, then Santa won't bring you anything.
Yeah, there's a cause and effect. You have to be good in order to get something, and if you're bad, you get nothing. There's no in between.
But
But I don't know.
should that be why you're doing good things?
No.
You should.
Also,
I
that's also it.
Well, I mean, to me, it seems like you should be teaching your kids, just that, hey, other people have emotions too. Just take a step back and, like, realize that
Yeah.
you're like just a tiny speck of sand in an infinite universe, you little fuck. But I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing with like God. Like if you're not good
Yeah.
in your life, you're gonna go to hell forever. So it's almost like
This is the second time that we have just said that Santa is God in this podcast. So Santa is a god.
yeah, kinda. I mean, if he can travel around the world in a single night one.
Well, I mean, he
mean,
probably doesn't need to slay a reindeer or elves then, if he's a god,
yeah,
unless
he
he's a
does.
really shitty god.
I mean, even God needs angels. Reindeer are just angels.
Yeah. Angels don't wait on slowpokes, Mr. Bubbles.
Yeah.
It's a reference.
And the logistics of Christmas Eve and time zones, though, it just has always bothered me. But
Yeah, I know. So, I mean, how fast would Santa have to fly?
I mean, he just has to get through each time zone in an hour and then just work its way back. So technically, he's working for like longer than a night.
I mean, but then again, but you got to think about it too. Like, all of China is under the same time zone. So, like, is he going through all of China, and then it's not like he's going in strips up and down or left and right. You know what I'm saying? He's got to go to each time zone and like break it up. But I just Googled it. He'd be having to travel at a speed of over 5 million miles per hour in order to do his thing.
What's the speed of light, though? Isn't it like
Speed of light is 670 million miles per hour, roughly, closer to 671
okay.
million.
So he just has to travel. At least he doesn't have to travel the speed of light.
Well, give me a second. I'll do some math real quick. 670 divided by, no, we'll do, sorry, 671 divided by 5. So, I mean, he's only got to go 101 over 134 times the speed of light. So, realistically, like, it's not like he has to go 100th of the speed of the light. You know what I'm saying? He can drop that down by like, another 25-30% and still be fine and take a break.
Yeah, so it's physically possible.
Yeah.
According to physics.
Yeah, since you can never actually. But then again, if you go back to Einstein's theory, if you have a flashlight and you're traveling at the speed of light, then that light is also
Mhm.
traveling at the speed of light away from you while being at the speed of light. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So basically, if you're riding a lightning bolt and you have a flashlight, that flashlight's still going to emit things at the speed of light, even though you're already going the speed of light. So then it's just the speed of light plus the speed of light. You see what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
at that point, you'd be vaporized in a few seconds, anyways, because you're riding on a lightning bolt. So,
Right.
yeah.
And luckily, Santa's a god.
Yeah,
So
well, he can handle that heat. So,
yeah.
does Santa
I
take
always thought,
returns? I've never actually looked. You know, like a defective toy, or
yeah.
does Mattel just handle that? Because they're like, ah, Santa.
I think he just has a deal with like all the stores that they just handle the returns for him.
I wonder what he pays every year for that. I mean, he probably pays Amazon a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably. Who knows?
Yeah. So, what?
So lying to your kids.
Yeah. So, like, why do we lie to our kids about Santa being real? I mean, you mentioned one to try to get good behavior. Maybe holidays are
Yeah.
stressful. I mean, they're always stressful for everybody. I don't know why we decided to cram two of them together. I mean, Jesus was literally like if Jesus was the figure that anyhow. So according to records, Jesus actually more than likely was born in July.
Yeah.
But we decided to cram it into December. I don't remember why. And then we decided
because it was a vegan holiday that Christians wanted to compete with. And because
not vegan, but
not vegan, sorry.
I know the word you're searching
vegans.
for. So,
Oh my God, what is it? The religion that
it's not like a Mithraism sort of thing. It's essentially a non-canonical holiday.
Yeah, the religion that coincides with Christianity's holidays, with the moon's cycles. Paganism,
That's the
not
one.
veganism.
Yeah, veganism is entirely different, folks.
Yeah,
but
you can be a vegan and a pagan.
Yeah, you had me lost. It's like when it was on the tip of your tongue and you said vegan. I'm like, I know that's not right, but it's very close. And then
Yeah,
I was coming up
I
with
know.
like Imperium and other words that didn't quite fit the
right.
like yeah.
Yeah, so we have pagan holidays that coincide with Christianity, and that's why we have Christmas in December,
Right.
saying that it's Jesus' birthday. Because back then, why would anyone fact check anything? And we couldn't because of books.
And
but now we have
no Google, and the lack of a literacy rate. Really, the literacy rate hasn't been great, like up until like 400 years ago. So,
right.
I mean, even
But
then,
it's still and it is still funny that we still even have this technology, and we do have this information that Jesus had a birthday in July, but people are like, nah, December, it's fine.
Yeah. But anyhow, so the holidays are always stressful. So lying to your kids just to, get a little bit of peace of mind. You know what I'm saying? That's not really inherently ethical.
No, but you could also just remove Santa from the equation and be like, hey, I'm not going to buy you Christmas presents if you're not going to be good.
Yeah.
So why do we have to insert a mythical being into this equation?
Yeah, especially a Viking warrior like Santa.
Exactly.
I mean, part of it I think is maybe so that way your kid believes in magic or something like that.
Yeah.
But magic's not real. So,
all right. I don't know. I do think that there is some sort of innocence to make giving some magic into the world. I think there's something kind of special about that, kind of making it seem more special or magical than what it is, since everything is kind of all just capitalism around the holidays anyway, and kind of making it so it's not just about capitalism, but the spirit of Christmas and things like that, and the joy and family and things like that. But I mean, I don't really think kids really care about all that jazz. I think they mostly care about gifts, but I don't know. I mean, I do like the idea of traditions and things, but
Yeah.
I think a lot of things can just be taken out with Santa, though. I think you can just have all those same things without this concept of
A mythical god.
bringing everyone gifts on Christmas.
And
Like,
apparently defending robbed families. I mean, he doesn't have time for that. He's going to have to travel at 6 million miles an hour to make up for that. But
right, but I don't know. I stopped believing in Santa really early on because I had family members I had cousins that told me that Santa wasn't real when I was very young. So it didn't like traumatize me or anything. I mean,
no.
it's like the Easter Bunny or Tooth Fairy or anything else like that. I mean, it just kind of makes it so the world's just not. It almost just takes like the specialness out of the world. Like we're just kind of floating through space and nothing's special in the world. And I
Yeah.
think it's nice to kind of keep that innocence for kids too, because I think my niece and nephew still believe in Santa, and they're like, I don't know. I think they're starting to believe that it's not actually real. I think last year was about the time in which that was pretty much like the last time that they're going to believe in Santa, because now they're like 9 and 10,
Yeah.
which I think is kind of old to still believe in Santa.
Yeah. I think I found out when I was about 6 and I just ignored it because I was like, well, whatever. If somebody else
Yeah.
figures out that I know, then maybe these gifts go away. So
Right.
so
Yeah.
I was like, well, whatever.
Yeah.
But my sister found out and she blurted it to my mom and dad, and they're like, well, you're probably old enough that you should know. I'm like, I've known for years. I just,
Yeah.
I give you the benefit of the doubt on it, sort of thing. Like, you tell me it's real,
Yeah.
but I wasn't traumatized when I found out. I was just like, oh, logically that makes sense, which is weird for like a
Yeah.
6 or 7-year-old to say, but it's like, oh, well, yeah, there's no way that he could be real. So,
Yeah. I mean, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I always thought that. I mean, I guess it could make sense if he's traveling fast enough because he always gains an hour traveling back in time zones. So
Yeah.
I guess in theory he's not doing it in a night; he's doing it in 24 hours. But
Mm-hmm.
and then like that whole idea of time zones and going back and losing an hour and gaining an hour is just kind of like confusing in its own.
Yeah.
But whatever.
That's the only way he can accomplish it, though.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't think there's anything super inherently bad about having your kids believe in Santa.
Yeah.
I don't think it's good or bad. I think I know I'm getting a lot of beef from people when I'm like, yeah, we're not gonna tell my kid that Santa's real. They're like, oh my god, you're not gonna tell your kid that Santa's real?
Yeah.
What? You're like removing this thing about being a kid from your kid. And I'm like, well, I don't know. There's still a lot of joy in the Christmas time with the lights and the music and the festivities and
Yeah.
just like the overall atmosphere that's around Christmas time. It already almost seems like it's like its own little magic wonderland anyway,
Yeah.
just because everything changes when Christmas comes in August.
I guess I see your point. I have the smoker's cough, which 60s Santa will remember, but not modern day Santa.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not great. I've been wanting to quit, but I
Yeah.
have to keep going back to my mistress in Connecticut. So hate that machine. So it's like
It happens.
I don't know.
It's just a bad Santa,
Yeah, pretty much.
which I think is. I also like the idea of Cremus. Is it Cremus? The evil being
Krampus.
that when Krampus, that thing's cool.
Man,
But if you're
first
bad,
you like
just get eaten.
I like to think that Cremus is a vegan.
Yeah, he just kidnaps the kids and put them into slavery rather than eats them. It's almost better because now you're not getting rewarded for just being good. You're like being punished for being bad, which kind of has a better cause and effect to it. Because when you do something wrong, there should be consequences. But I don't think being eaten is a good consequence when you're 4 and the bad thing you did was like, I don't know, draw on the wall, expressing your individuality, and now Krampus is just gonna come eat you because it's not that cool, I guess. I don't know. I guess if my kids draw on the wall, I'll be like, "Oh, nice. That is a nice way to express creativity, but I sure wish you did it on a piece of paper." I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I think part of Christmas is almost to control kids about just like trying to make them be good because I don't know. There's this thing about people not wanting to be inconvenienced by their kid, so they'll constantly be like, "No, don't do that. No, don't do that. That's gonna cause me a headache, so therefore I don't want you to do it." But I don't know. They're learning. They're figuring out cause and effect, and like when this happens, this happens. It's experimenting, and you have the Christmas spirit. I'm all done with Christmas. I think I'm done. I have Amanda's gifts all done, but she was easy. Um, and also I bought her a really expensive computer last year, so she's just like, "You bought me this expensive computer last year, so you don't have to give me anything super big this year." And we're adults, and we just buy whatever we want whenever we want anyway. So Christmas is more just like, what can we buy each other that we haven't thought about getting each other that we would still like? And And that's what I kind of feel like Christmas is, since we don't really want to do that with kids because then they'll be spoiled. So I guess if we just shove it all into Christmas, then maybe the idea of Christmas and Santa makes them like, here's a reward for you being good. This has nothing to do with you being spoiled or us giving you a bunch of stuff. This is because you were good. So it's like a reward, but I don't know. I still think it can come from the parents. Um, And it's just something sneaky about for like 7 years saying, "Oh yeah, this is magical being that's just bringing you gifts because you're
And
good."
Hasbro gives the elves the schematics, so they build them on point, or Mattel or whoever.
Yeah, it almost made way more sense like 40 years ago before technology was a
Right.
thing for it. But like nowadays, it's like there's kids are smart
Yeah.
and they're growing up with technology. They're like, "How is Santa and the elves making all this like technological toys?
Well,
Why can't they just buy it from Amazon?"
that's actually how I figured out that Santa wasn't real.
Also, people can just Google kids stuff now.
Yeah,
Apparently,
I
where they're
didn't
just like, "Is Santa real?" And they're like,
I
"No."
didn't really think about that, but yeah. But like when I discovered it, I was, like I said, I was probably 6, right? And
Yeah,
there were these 2 kids, and one was yelling that Santa wasn't real, and one was yelling that Santa was real. And then I thought about it, and then I asked my teacher, who probably should have told my mom, but whatever. I
yeah.
asked her, I'm like, "So how does like Santa make action figures the same as like what you can buy in the store?" And she's
Yeah,
like,
aren't there copyright
well,
laws?
it wasn't like that. It was just like, how can this be identical, sort of thing. You know, it's not
Yeah.
like, because at a certain point you realize that like GI Joe, the Real American Hero set that you wanted in Walmart, how can Santa reproduce
Mhm.
that exactly when he, like it just didn't make sense to me. He has no connection with anybody and he lives on the North Pole. How the hell does he know what's in
Right.
Walmart here? So, but and she just said, "That's a really good question." And that's all I got. So,
I mean, that's a really good answer,
I
honestly.
mean, I get that answer a lot, right? And when I get that
Yeah.
answer, it's like, "So you don't know?" "Oh, no, it's
Yeah.
just a really good question. So you do know. If you know, please tell me." "Well, okay, so you don't know." it's just a
Yeah.
really good question. It's like, okay, so you're beating around the bush a lot. I just want a straight answer, yes or no. I do that anymore.
Yeah.
I didn't used to, but
Yeah. It's either you don't know the answer or you don't want to give the answer.
no, pretty much. And
Yeah.
some people just have that sort of gift when it comes to talking to people, whereas I've had to learn it. And like,
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it really wasn't that hard. It was just how I was raised that I just didn't have contact with a whole lot of people who weren't complete dicks. So,
Yeah.
if only I had grown
I
up
mean,
with somebody like Al who would talk to me about themselves all day.
when I was growing up, I didn't. Looking back at how I acted when I was little, I just realized that I was probably just on the spectrum because, man, I was kind of awkward.
Yeah, but you probably still are
Yeah,
to
I just
some
didn't.
degree. I mean, I
Honestly,
definitely
probably.
am. So,
Yeah, I just don't know how much of the spectrum I'm on because I definitely don't think I have autism.
no.
But I did like some really weird things though, or maybe I just didn't. Maybe I just didn't. When I thought about something logically, I just wanted to spout it out. I don't know,
Yeah.
but I was just awkward. I was definitely an awkward kid. Maybe part of it was just I didn't care either. Like I just didn't really have a concept of people outside of my little bubble. And so, what if I wanted to do something? I just was going to do it.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Yeah. You mean like me going
I
into
had
the
a
play place instead of asking the Burger King employees that make minimum
nah, it's
wage if
fine.
it's fine? It's like, man.
They also don't care. They're going to be like, I don't care what you do.
Well,
I don't get paid
yeah,
enough to
pretty
talk to
much. Yeah. Like
you.
they were all excited that somebody was using the play place for once and that it was my daughter's. They're
Yeah.
like, she's so cute. And I'm like, and they're like, did you get an ice cream? Because I got her ice cream afterwards. And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I told her that we'd get ice cream when we leave. And that was the only way that I could think of to get her to not cry on the way out from leaving there because she was having so much fun. And so
Yeah.
she gave her like, instead of like a small ice cream, she gave her a large ice cream. And I'm like, yeah, she also throws up when she has too much sugar. She ate it all. She didn't throw up this time though. So I mean, that's
Nice.
yeah. I wasn't gonna take it.
Christmas miracle.
Oh, praise Santa. But no, it was cute though. Like she just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I told my daughter, I'm like, say thank you to her, and my daughter's like, thank you. And I'm like, you're a weirdo. Like, let's go.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was.
Kids are funny.
Yeah, she's great. I just like I don't know where she got thank you from. It's like we don't whisper at the house, so I mean it's not like we yell either. But it's like, where did,
They got it from the ghost that's under the bed.
yeah, I guess so. I don't know, but yeah, so she got double ice cream because she's a cute little girl. So
good for her.
mhm.
That's the real trick to figuring out as a kid is you can get away with a lot of stuff if you're cute.
Yeah.
It's better than just like you can be good, but also if you're just cute enough, you can get away with anything.
Oh yeah.
And that also just helps throughout life as well as you get older.
So you're saying being cuteness has advantages, or being cute has its own set of advantages?
I'm just saying it took me a long time to get free stuff from Starbucks. But if I was cute, I probably would have gotten more stuff from Starbucks.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If I was a cute girl.
Have you ever seen that TikTok video where the woman gets pulled over and the officer comes back with a ticket and she's like, "I thought cute girls didn't get tickets," and the officer's like, "They don't sign here, please." Yeah, I know. I mean, I can just if I was that officer, I would just be smiling ear to ear when I said that too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, because it's like, ooh, yeah, but you're more like a barnacle, aren't you? I don't know, but I don't know.
My Starbucks now, they know me now, and I'm a regular.
Oh yeah,
And they're like, "Hey, Aaron, how you doing?" So
I mean
I'm just
that's good though. I don't have any
yeah.
place. The only place that I get that from is the gas station, and that probably says something about me because I stop at the same gas station every day for cigarettes and I mean not beer every day, but sometimes beer.
Yeah.
So, but like the guy last night, like I I accidentally left a pack of cigarettes there when I was paying for gas, and I
Yeah.
left, and I went back like 4 hours later, and the same guy's there. He's like, "I've been holding on to these for you." I'm like, "Ah, my dude,
Oh,
I
nice.
appreciate you." I'm like, "I was just gonna buy another pack
Yeah.
because I fucked up, but like, thanks. I appreciate that, man."
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah. See, it's good to be a regular somewhere.
yeah.
There's 3 employees at the Starbucks that always say, "Hey, Aaron," when I go through the
Oh
drive-through.
man.
And one night I went at like 10 minutes before close,
Hmm.
and I put in my order, and on the intercom they're like, "Oh shit, is this Aaron?" I don't think they said "oh shit," but like, "Oh man, is this Aaron?" They're like, "Yeah." They're like, "Oh man, crazy." I don't know why, but I feel like there's some weird conversation that the employees are having about me. So,
You know that one guy with the red hair that comes through at like 10 o'clock at night? Yeah.
yeah, always gets the venti iced Americano with white mocha. Yeah.
That is a strong move, though. So, I don't know. Yeah. I see, I always thought I'd be a regular somewhere, like, some
Mhm.
sort of business where I saw somebody all the time. And apparently, I'm just the weird regular that goes to the gas station all the time. So, but it's just so damn convenient. It's like right at the end of my street. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's 2 blocks away. It's like, why? They have everything I need right there. If I'm out of
Yeah,
cat food in the middle of
exactly.
the night, they're like, because I'm not the most organized person, but if I'm out of cat food, I can go down there. I know they have a couple bags there. It's
Exactly.
basically just a mini mart more than anything with a gas
Yeah.
pump outside. But
I've been a regular at 3
oh
Starbucks
man, yeah,
where they knew me.
yeah. Uncle Howie loves you.
Yeah.
Sorry. Howard
Yeah.
Schultz is
How
the guy
they
who
knew me.
you used to own Starbucks.
Oh, I was thinking of Howe Avenue.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no.
Yeah, they didn't know me there.
No.
It was just Portage Trail. And then when I was at the factory, I went to the same Starbucks every day. And then now this one.
Yeah.
There was that other one that we were
Oh,
before this one.
yeah, there was another one too before this one opened up that we went to all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they knew me, but I think all those employees cycled out, so now they don't know me anymore.
Yeah. I like
It helps if you get the exact same thing.
Yeah. I like walking into my old Starbucks every once in a while and just looking behind the
Yeah.
counter and seeing that nobody that I used to work with is there anymore. And just
Yeah.
like looking around and, everything's exactly the same. And they're like,
Yeah.
they're telling somebody, oh, they're out of something. And I just kind of glance real quick and they're not out of it. They just don't know what they're talking about. And I'm like, well, whatever.
Perfect.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
like the last time I was there, they told somebody they were out of decaf Sumatra beans. And I looked back and I'm like, not really out of decaf Sumatra beans, but that's okay. So
It's like when the ice cream machine's broken at McDonald's.
yeah,
They just didn't want to get it.
yeah, pretty much. So yeah, thank God I got my daughter ice cream at Burger King as opposed to McDonald's. It never would have happened at McDonald's.
Mm-mm.
There is some
No.
place or some website. Let me find it. Website track McDonald's ice cream machines. McBroken is the name of the website.
That's a great
Yeah, I
name.
know. It's an app as well. But I heard about it not too long ago, and I mean it's been out for years at this point, right?
Yeah.
I think it's been out for 2 years. I think I heard about it in like February or something like that. But I thought it was like A, the best name ever, even though I couldn't remember it, and B,
Yeah.
but oh, also by the way, so I got that free Power Wheels for my daughter, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I need a seat for this. I'm like, well, that's the first thing I'm going to look for because if I can't find a seat for this thing's useless, right? And now I could build one, but that's a lot of work, and I could also just buy a new Power Wheels and do what I wanted with that, right?
Yeah.
But I found a website that sold the seat. I'm like, oh, cool. And then I look at the name, and it's called the Power Wheels Service Center, and I just thought that was the cutest name ever. Because it's like,
Yeah.
it'd be like Power Wheels Automotive. Bring your Power Wheels in, we'll fix it. We'll figure out all the aches and, pains that you're...
Power wheels are expensive.
Yeah, like anywhere from like $200 to $400.
Yeah.
Sometimes 500, depending on what you're looking for.
This Power Wheels Jeep Wrangler is 200.
Yeah. So,
but this other Jeep Wrangler one's 220.
Well, and a lot of those, right? They're supposed to come with like, well, they just come bare bones, right? But you can buy a harness online with an emergency stop and like controls to move the wheel and stuff like that for like $60 on Amazon, $60-$70. So
you can almost make it like a remote control.
You can make it an RC car. Yeah. So that way, like let's say your kid's doing something messed up or like isn't holding the steering wheel or whatever, right? You can hit the emergency stop and then you can just literally like redirect the car back at a certain point. I just thought that was cool. So it's like $60
technology.
Well, I was going to build something like that, but I was just going to build my own emergency stop that based off of a wireless relay that cut the power when open the switch whenever you press a button, right? And that's like a $12 thing. But it's like this thing, like I can replace everything in it, all the motors and everything for $60, and it becomes an RC car. And I'm like, man, that's really cool. And then I keep looking at it and I'm like, man, I could upgrade this to a 24 volt system. So this thing would really go, right? Like it would go pretty fast at that point, probably like 8, 9, 10 miles an hour, maybe.
Jeez.
Right. Which, that's whatever, but it's a lot for a Power Wheels, right?
It is.
Yeah. So especially when your kid's behind the wheel. And I mean, it has a switch so you can lower the speed. So
and if you put a Tesla battery in it, man, I think it's gonna haul.
I mean, you just need 2 12-volt lithium iron phosphate batteries that are all of $30, right? And then like you buy the kit and you got to buy a couple motors. But you get away with it.
Santa's not going to do that for you.
No. But that's all like in total, it's like $120, and that Power Wheels will fly.
How is this not like a competition where you just like beef up a Hot Wheels car?
You mean a Power Wheels? Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking too, right? And you can do it with remote controls or whatever, however you want to do it. You want to put a driver in there, that's fine, but that's increased weight. It's almost double the weight,
Yeah, at that point you just put like a dummy in it, and then it's kind of like those competitions where you a bunch of people make like random like mobile things to race,
right? And
they're just like the most ridiculous things ever. It's almost at that point,
to
do that, something like that.
And I mean,
how is this not a thing?
Yeah, well, and that's about what I said, because I'm like, man, somebody out there was like, nah, an RC car is too much, but we can get a Power Wheels to go real fast. You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of room in there.
Well, and like somebody obviously already thought that like a remote control would be nice, whether it be for like special needs or whether it be for any other number of reasons.
Safety.
Yeah, safety. Well, I mean, your kid can still override it, aside from the emergency stop. They can't override the emergency stop. But aside from that, they can still override the controls, which that's fine. The emergency stop's really the only one that you're going to need. So, I mean, ideally, you'd be able to turn the unit left and right, and overpower your kid. But do you realize like what power motor you would need to be able to do that? You know what I'm saying? Like it's not practical in that respect. Now the gas pedal and there are no brakes on that thing, which makes me leery about hills, but but it's, I mean, you basically just use the resistance of the motor and the gearbox to stop. So I don't know. It's one of those things. I also thought about adding a range thing to it. I've thought about remarketing a range thing for it, that you just wire it in line to, like, basically it would plug into an outlet, right? And you can only get 50 feet from the outlet, we'll just say, right? Or 20 feet from the outlet, and making that real specific as far as that goes, right? And then like if you get too far, then it's just, the vehicle just loses power, right?
Right.
So that way, like your kid goes and you know that you want your kids to be able to stop 20 feet from the road or something like that. Not to say that not to say they're doing this unsupervised or anything like that,
Right.
but you don't want them to go 20 feet from the road, right? Then then it would just kill switch right then and there, right? And
Yeah.
you know they're 50 feet away from that outlet, 20 feet away from the road. Arbitrary numbers, obviously.
Yeah.
But I thought about wiring that in because that's super simple. And then I thought about remarketing that because it's really fucking simple.
Yeah.
Like it's a $12 device that you could probably sell for $50 if you just tell people how to do it, right?
Yeah.
And, I don't know, but that's
I
probably
mean, people figure out routers, so they can figure out this.
no. It's not. Well, you literally would just splice 4 wires. Like you cut 2 wires, strip them back, put some screws in, you're done. Take my friend Al 4 hours to do, but it might not take the rest of the world that long.
Oh, jeez.
No, but that's all I got.
Yeah.
Mick broken.
Brick broken.
Yeah. Maybe I can become an ice cream machine technician.
Probably.
I imagine it's just somebody with a refrigeration license.
Yeah, probably.
But anyhow, oh, we forgot to mention our
Yeah.
sponsor this week.
Christmas.
Yeah, we don't have any sponsors except for Christmas and Santa.
Yeah.
If you want a good deal on HelloFresh, use code CrimeAfterCrime20. That's CrimeAfterCrime20. Yeah, no, that's not our promo. That's somebody. HelloFresh doesn't sponsor us, but can't stop me, John Hodgkins.
Can't.
Yeah.
Maybe one day we'll get a sponsor. Maybe one day people will listen to it.
Yeah. Hi, guy in Virginia.
Hello, the FBI.
Yeah.
How are you today?
Yeah. Sorry. We've been gone for so long. So
Make sure to donate to Patreon.
yeah. No, I figured after the beginning of the year, once everything's a little bit less chaotic, particularly when my mistress in Connecticut's done, we'll be a little bit more consistent. And,
Yeah.
you know,
We got the gist of it. I mean, it's probably not unethical to lie to your kid about Santa.
probably not.
There's good and pros and cons, but I feel like overall, it's just like your own parental decision of whether or not you want to lie to your kid for 7 years. But
Yeah. I think that honestly, though, the best advice might be telling your kid that, hey, so other people are going to tell you this is real. It's not, but don't break their spirit on it. Like,
exactly. I mean, you can have a Christmas spirit, and if you don't believe in Santa, great. If someone else believes in it, great. It's just like Jesus. Do not make fun of them for believing in a grifter.
right.
But
Santa, the great D&D god, grifter, Viking warrior.
yeah, and don't think too much into the logistics of Santa. Just be like, it's magic. And that's okay. I mean, it's fine to believe in magic. People believe in supernatural things all the time, and it's fine. I mean, it makes the world more interesting rather than just everyone trying to pull a fast one off you when there's a magician out there that's just really good at sleight of hand.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah.
That's our show for today.
So,
and trust me, we're keeping track of the statistics for that promo code CrimeAfterCrime20. See how well the sponsorship really pays off for us. Watch that, like whoever listens to this, right? They're actually using that code and they're like, this is fucking great.
Yeah.
And we're over here and like Crime After Crime is like, oh, wait, what? We got like 2 additional users. We must be doing something right.
I think they even stopped being Crime After Crime at this point. I think this year was their last year doing it. So
Oh, was it?
if they like promo code might not work anymore.
Yeah. I'll find another one. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess you can check us out anywhere that you found this. I don't know where you found it, but you found it. Good work. It's also on Spotify, Apple Podcast.
And eventually we'll have a website whenever I get done with this.
Yeah, and we're on YouTube too, but we only have like 5 views.
It's still more than I thought.
Yeah.
We're not very popular, but we're popular enough, damn it. We've influenced 5 people's lives.
We're on Podbean. Let's see. Podcast dashboard. Oh man, we had 2 downloads, the 4th and the 7th, and I uploaded an episode yesterday. We already got a download. That's that Virginia person. Let's look actually.
That Virginia person is probably like, he probably just wants to be friends with us at this point. Or we're on some sort of terrorist watch list.
There it is. Virginia, 1 download. Oh my god, Alabama. There's a download
We
in
got
Alabama.
we got a download from Alabama.
Yeah, that's crazy. Look at that. People found us. Well, hopefully they like our talk about whether or not it's ethical to lie to your kid about Santa.
There's probably some guy in a bunker in Virginia, by the way, who contacted his friend in a bunker in Alabama. That's like, you gotta listen to these guys. They're fucking nut jobs. Better lock them.
It's just 2 dudes complaining about the world.
Yeah, that's all we do is bitch.
And also talking about Santa.
Yeah, and Al.
Every now and then we'll sprinkle in something. I don't know. I've always had. I mean, I did have this weird conundrum about like whether or not I should tell my kid about Santa or not. But honestly, just thinking about it, I don't think it matters that much. I think just like teaching the kid about the season and how it's the season to give and to just enjoy.
Yeah, I think teaching them to look at it from beyond a personal standpoint, looking at it looking at it as if you're a bystander in it all. I think that's always helpful. Like giving gifts to others being more important than getting them, sort of thing.
So, if you want to lie to your kid, do it. If you don't, do it.
Yeah. All right. And with that, I'm Ryan.
I'm Aaron. Goodbye.
Goodbye.